All right. My name is Architect Uche. I've been with Pop Foundation for a number of years now. And on that note, I actually want to, first of all, do an appreciation. And I want everybody to appreciate for me Architect Ape because we've all been in organizations where you have, you heard the session. It's not that someone told you. You heard the session. He can go on and on for today, but he's that leader who gives younger people a lot of opportunities. And when I say that, I'm not trying to flatter him, is exactly what it is. And I think he deserves that recognition and that appreciation. Please, can you appreciate him one more time? All right. I'm going to be talking about, there's a topic, I talked about this before at the last 10 summits, and I will just touch on it briefly, and then we will do some sort of extrapolation, so to speak. We will just look at how we can apply what we are looking at to our own context, in our own context. And when I say our own context, I mean the jobs that you can take from there, the applications in your business, the applications in your career, and all whatnot, investments, and all of that. So I try to be more scientific. I try to be more, when I say scientific, I mean just academic. I like to just look at the facts, and then you can decide from what you see, what are the applications of the things that we're going to talk about. So I'm going to be talking about what I call a generational revolution. And we're going to be doing a case study of the TENClass movement. How many of us remember the TENClass movement? How many of us participated? Don't worry, police will pick you up. they are witch-hunting some of them now, but don't worry, you are safe. So we're just going to take a look at that very quickly. We'll just run through it very quickly. So what is the relationship between generations? So when I talk about a generational revolution, it is not just a random word. The word generations is actually, it's scientific. It's actually a study of different people born at different times within different span of years over time. And it is noted that because of the time they are born and the circumstances around where they are born and where they live, it influences the decisions that they make. So when I say a generational revolution, the word generational there refers to a scientific term, okay? It is also called a cohort, a generational cohort. But we'll come to all of that subsequently. So what is going to be what's the alignment between generations and overhaul? That's where I want us to start from. You know that the topic for this TENClass is overhaul, right? Yeah, so when you hear the word overhaul, you are looking at disassembly, you are breaking up stuff, you are trying to change, you are trying to investigate, you are trying to rework. You are saying, oh, this thing used to be functional, but I want to make it more efficient, right? You are looking at a system or a structure, and you are saying, I want to break it apart. I want to break up the pieces. I want to investigate. I want to probe. I want to go deeper. I want to see how I can make this system work better. That's what comes to mind when you think about overhaul. Now, why generations and overhaul? Like I'd given as a preview, every generation, now whether you like it or not, there are certain actions you make, there are certain attitudes you have just based on the fact that you were born within this time span that you were. You will notice that our generation has become a little bit lazy because there are a lot of things that we can get at the snap of our fingers. Now people want to boil water with microwave. Don't laugh. It's normal. Is it not? It's normal. People want bread with microwave, is it not? Why should you put the bread on an actual fire when there's a microwave? It's not your fault. It is what you were born into. When I was preparing this slide, I was told that my nephew saw, the old TV, the box TV. He saw the TV and said that, what is this microwave? So because of what he's born into, the fact that he can watch regular television on a tablet, it is beyond his imagination that a television can be that big. So you will act based on the culture, the environment that you are born into. And that is important because it will help you adjust, it will help you plan, it will affect the things you produce and how you can effectively reach the people around you. Okay? Now, before now, how many of us know that when Facebook was running, when Facebook was picking up relevance and all of that, most churches kicked against it? Can you remember vividly? And you remember how they used to say, you are praying, the first thing you are doing is you are opening your phone. Can you remember? Now, it's almost normal to read your Bible from your phone in church. In fact, it became normal for you to attend service online because of COVID. When we make certain statements without looking at actual numbers, we're not looking at where is this generation heading to? What are they reacting to? You are just acting out of stupidity. You will be left behind. So being aware of this helps you adjust your mind and direct yourself, as regards progression and growth. So a social generation, like I said, is just a group of people born around a certain time and usually in a certain area. I'll give you an example. When 9/11 happened, September 2000 and what now? Was it 1? Good. The people who were born around that time became more conscious about religious fanaticism and all of that. It was not a problem for you. Abi? But when Boko Haram bombed Yanya, you had a wake-up call. So the people who were born around that time in the US had a different reaction to that, right? You started hearing issues about racial profiling in the US and all of that. In fact, you started watching more action films that had to do with Afghanistan, if you remember that time, than against now. And now we have more Nigerian movies about Boko Haram and all of that. That's what you call about context. So you may have been born around the same time, but you may not experience the same thing because it's not confined to your own locality. So a social generation refers to a group of people born within the same period between 15 to 20 years and those who share the same location. Now, these generations are influenced by economy, enlightenment, and or advancement, amongst others. Why do we need to learn about social generations? 1, generational friction. When we say generational friction, is what I just talked about church. You go to church, they are preaching against Facebook, and you have Facebook accounts, and all that. When we understand generations properly, we can manage the relationship between ourselves and those ahead of us, and those coming after us. Because we must not think of this between just ourselves and our parents. We must also think about those people coming after us. One of the things I think everybody needs to be alive to, whether or not you like it, is that people are going to become more vocal about other sexual orientations. You would be stupid to still be saying that because a person says he's bisexual or the person says he's homosexual, the person is possessed or is this or that. Now, I'm not advocating for any sexual orientation. But what I'm saying is that it's plain stupidity to assume that you want to use those our old methods now. Because, everybody is on social media. If I'm on social media and I see a drag queen who is getting a lot of, what do you call it now? Traction, exactly. It's getting a lot of traction. And you have a child who is 12, who is having those tendencies. The person has seen someone that he can model after or look forward to, someone who is giving a voice to what he feels is not accepted in his own community. And you see that those people will begin to gather a voice. In fact, one of the things that was almost going to taint the NSAS movement was the fact that there was beginning to become a voice for other sexual orientations. It's something that you cannot run away from. So if I were you, if you are a leader, you are a pastor, you are a, you are a father, you are a mother, you need to begin to answer questions logically and practically about sexual orientations. You can't just come and say, this thing is a demon. We need to cast it out of you. If you try that one, if it works for you, fine. So, generational frictions, then you can anticipate popular opinion. Anticipate popular opinion can go several ways. We can talk about political opinion. You can talk about religious opinion. You can talk about commercial opinion. People now want to save money from their phones. That is the reason why PiggyVest will thrive more than regular banking investment apps. Are you getting me? If you notice, most investment organizations have started creating apps where people can put money and watch their investments grow. How many of us have heard about 100, I think it's 100 investment or ARM investment? I think it's 100, right? It's from GTB. They even have a Telegram group where they give you updates. Okay? So anybody who is oblivious and says, no, it's bank, I know. You know, our parents used to be like that. This ATM thing doesn't work for me. This ATM is checkbook, is right. You get to a point, you can't do checkbook again. You can't do, I want to go and fill teller in the bank. It becomes more expensive for you, all right? So, you can anticipate popular opinion, and then also you need to understand that there's a rising massive economic change, especially from tech. So all those things will affect generations. So very quickly, as far back as, let me say, your oldest parents, if you're about up to 40 here, your parents will most likely fall in the first category called baby boomers. Baby boomers are those people who were born during the Second World War. Their parents were at home, so there was plenty action. So they are called baby boomers. The second generation after that, that was the generation that saw the TV, colored TV for the first time. They saw transistor radios and all of that. So sale exploded at that time because of the reach of TV and radio. Then you have Generation X. That's the generation that comes after boomers. Now, one of the things about the generation baby boomers was that they fell into privilege a lot, because the older ones, a lot of them died during the war. So there was a lot of opportunity for the baby boomers, right? So a lot of people call the baby boomers an entitled generation. It's also the generation sort of that met the oil boom in Nigeria when Nigeria just got independence, okay? So, and if you notice then, jobs were literally, were everywhere. Take this, you know, they are the ones now that will tell you are not hardworking enough. They don't know that the opportunities they had are not the opportunities you have now. Do you understand? So when your parents are vexing for you, you can now understand where they are coming from, okay? So you have the baby boomers, you have Generation X. Generation X are now the Feladro toys. They are the ones who started doing contracts. They were the ones who had maybe fathers or uncles who were in government at the time, and then they were giving contract. They now became the contractors and all of that. Those are also, they are a bridge between the next generation, which is the millennial generation, and the baby boomers. They are more entrepreneurial, but a lot of things also came to them almost on a platter. Then you now have the millennials. The millennials did not get literally anything free. They had to hustle. They had to use their wit. Then they are the generation that had to learn how to use the computer. There was a logo I wanted to look for. How many of us remember Yahoo Messenger? Plenty of people don't remember. We used to do night browsing for Yahoo Messenger. When you type ASL, age, sex, and location, you have forgotten. I'm old though. You know, that was, the millennial generation, and then you have Gen Z. Gen Z is now the generation after millennials. It spans between 1995 and 2012. This generation are exposed to new media. Oh yes, exactly. You remember this purple logo? Yeah, you can go back to this slide. So then you have Gen Z. Gen Z are those guys who are more relaxed around tech, and not just regular tech, I mean advanced technology. We're talking about tablets and all of that. In fact, when I get to a certain point, you guys will realize why I say they are more relaxed. All right, so I was going to do a quick sample. All the people that I can use, I've already used them to test this my. Sir, please, that logo on the extreme right, what is it, sir? This logo on the extreme right. Music. I'm proving something. Hold on. Eh? Samsung Music. You try it, sir. It's music. Up by the right. You try that. I say you try, sir. Where's Auntie Jane? I want Auntie Jane to come and check one for me. There's a lady behind, just before the camera. Hello. Please, can you stand up? What is this? The second image. Eh? Film. Camera film. Are you sure? What is it? What's this image? Same it has. Okay, good. You're safe. Ma, please, what's this second image to the last on the top? What's it for? This second one to the last. No, the one after cassette. You don't know? Okay, who knows what it is? Who knows what it is? Ma, you don't know too? Ah, me too, I did know. How many of us have heard of Netflix? You've heard of Netflix? That icon is the book version of Netflix. Yes. I was surprised. Eh? So that's what generation. When they told me, you didn't put this one, I said, what is it? They say it's what they used to read books. It's like Netflix. So me too. I'm not in the generation. Okay? So it's to show you how, we are all differentiated. It's not wrong. It's just what you did not experience. Do you know what this one is? You don't know what this one is? Sir? Sir, you know it very well. So you get what I'm saying now. So that's just because of how we were what time we were born and the things we experienced. This used to be the jam box back then. This used to be the thing, So that's just to show us that we are from different generations. Okay. So the indications are very obvious. Now the Federal Ministry of Information and Communication has been changed to the Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy. The federal government has realized that there is a massive economy in the digital industry. Jeff Bezos, as of last month, has now been valued at over $200 billion. And you need to know that among the top 5, at least four people are tech-related companies. If you are not stupid, you should know by now that the digital economy is something that you cannot look away from. And then you compare that to Rockefeller. Rockefeller is the wealthiest man we can actually consider. He was the one who discovered kerosene, oil, fuel, and all of that. So that guy literally had monopoly of money, like mad money. And Jeff Bezos has already cut his own value at half already. And Jeff Bezos is not dead. So you know that his company can still grow. So that's just for that. Paystack, we know, was sold recently for $200 million. YouTube. There's a guy who plays videos on YouTube. He's the highest earning YouTuber in the world. He has about 105 million viewers on his channel, subscribers, and makes about $15 million annually from his YouTube channel. In Nigeria, a Nigerian earns about 110 million annually on YouTube. Mark Angel. earns about 110 million on YouTube annually. And I think that that figure is very conservative. Just so that you can realize that generational changes are important. So now to the crux of our discussion, NSAS. Why did the NSAS start? Any ideas very quickly? Essentially, what happened was SARS officers were tackling Yahoo boys and other people who looked like they were making money that wasn't commensurate with their age. Now, aside the Yahoo boys, we know for sure that photographers earn as much as 600 to 1 million on gigs, right? We also know that people who do affiliate marketing and Forex are super wealthy, right? Who else? Graphic designers, web designers, software engineers. Exactly. So that was the problem. That is the reason why there was an outcry. Beyond the Yahoo boys, I mean, even Yahoo has gone beyond forging documents to online digital scam, right? So it's just showing you that there is a new economy that has come out that is not traditional, of going to the office, wearing certain kind of clothes and stuff. So that was what caused the NSAS movement. It's just telling you where the society... Listen, the problem that is happening in Nigeria is that the society is moving faster than the institutions can catch up. You understand? So the government, the institutions in Nigeria can't believe that young people can be this wealthy without doing the regular jobs that they do. All right? So that was the reason the NSAS movement happened. Method. What was the method of the NSAS movement? It gained traction online, strictly. The reason the NSAS movement spread as fast and as strong as it did, the NSAS hashtag, as at the second day, had hit about 4 million tweets. By the second day. In a week, if I'm not wrong, Jack Dorsey had created an icon specifically for the hashtag, in support of the hashtag. And by that time, they had raised at least 11 million naira. In a week. When CBN shut down their accounts, they switched to digital currency. And they had raised another 6 or 8 million in digital currencies alone. Now, this is to tell you that something was happening beyond what the government could control. You get the point. So he's saying that we are heading somewhere that if you close your eyes to, you would only be crushed. You will be left behind. You will not become effective. You will be useless when it comes to that community or where the society is headed. So so when we talk about the methods, there was online attention, and that was also the reason why there was a lot of impression, because at that time, international media was intimated almost immediately. They started doing their research. People were documenting their videos and pictures and all of that. They were able to coordinate lawyers around the country online, strictly. They were able to coordinate security agencies, ambulances, doctors online, strictly. Do you understand? So that's to show you where everything was going. What are the characteristics of that leadership, of that movement? There were no leaders. There was a mob mindset. A mob mindset was that if the mob did not accept you, or the mob made a statement, everybody aligned, whether it was good or not. This was what the mob wanted. The mob said, we don't want leaders. If you put yourself as leader, they bring you down. Do you understand? And all of that. So that's to show you how the mind of this generation works. There's also distrust for the government, and then it was also fun and intense. Now, when you think about other protests that people have had before now, it was all fight, but this one, guys were jiving. They were singing, they were rocking, and at the same time protesting. It's showing you the mindset of this generation. You have to be able to be relatable. You have to be real. You have to be that person who can get them moving, you get, as much as they want to be serious, okay? So that's just to make us understand, what, I can see you, what the characteristics or the attributes of that movement was. What are the takeaways for us? when you begin a business, you should consider adding digital currencies. It's a reality now that you can't run away from. You should consider online payments, transfers, scan codes, USSD. USSD is star 222, whatever, mobile money and all of that. You have to think at that level. You should also consider deliveries and pickup, because everybody wants things as easy and simple. Not just that they want things easy and simple. People now work remotely. Now, because they work remotely, maybe where they live is far away from what is the commercial hub of that area. So they don't want to be able to leave their comfort and go all the way to pick up whatever it is, maybe their laundry, their food, and all of that. They want it to now come to them so that they can just be within their workspace and all of that. It helps their efficiency, and it just helps their general comfort. And then you have to consider that you are moving beyond just your local audience to a global audience. And global customers, you have to consider online shops, online advertisements, and visibility. Then you now look at new job specifications. Now we have jobs like digital marketing, we have jobs like affiliate marketing, we have social media influence, we have YouTube celebrities, we have new legal ramifications of new media. Now what that means is this: you need to now be careful, because I don't know if this is proven, that some things that you say on social media can actually be admitted in court. So it means you also have to be smart. You have to now start looking at not infringing on people's rights when you post on social media. So in case your aim is to become a celebrity YouTuber, what I say can be seen as endorsing a certain political view or commercial view or someone else's brand. So you need to look at the new legal ramifications for new media. And then, now this is the greatest part, which I think that our generation must be conscious of. We now have online education and courses for literally every industry. So what that means is that you can be self-trained. In fact, that is the reason why everything is changing like it is, because a person can be on campus studying psychology, and before he graduates, he is a top-tier software engineer. The whole world has changed. You cannot be in your cocoon, in your corner of the world, looking at just what you used to look at. You now have to project into the future. You cannot live in your head anymore. You cannot live based on the things that you see just in your immediate community. You need to go beyond where you are now. You need to look at the global ramifications of everything that you are doing now. The world is bigger than our current view. People now trade Forex on their phones. People buy Bitcoin on their phones. Everything is now almost, I mean, there are even online banks right now. So everything is now within reach. So we must be attentive. We must be alive to the fact that the world is changing, or rather the world has changed. Thank you very much.